On May 23, 2024, the U.S. Department of Justice, along with 30 states' attorneys general, filed an antitrust lawsuit against Ticketmaster, also known as Ticketmaster Live Nation. They're alleging that the company violated Section 2 of the Sherman Act, which basically states that they're a monopoly, and it's illegal to be a monopoly. Now, in this 128-page complaint, they make a lot of grievances, obviously, and those can be summarized to about 7 specific concerns that they have that prove their point that Ticketmaster has violated the Sherman Act. And the point of this lawsuit, or their end goal, is structural relief, which is the dissolve of the company entirely and broken up, or forcing the company to divest of certain assets. But what exactly those assets are, we are very far away from determining what sort of assets the Justice Department is physically going after Ticketmaster to sell off. Now, this whole thing is just the next chapter of this Taylor Swift concert meltdown that occurred in 2022. And if you want a summary or a recap of that and some of the fallout that came after that, specifically the Senate Judiciary hearing that called for Ticketmaster to be broken up, the Biden administration's attempt to tackle junk fees across a wide variety of platforms, not just Ticketmaster, we've discussed those all in more detail in a separate video that you can check out yourself on our channel. Now, I don't know anything about Ticketmaster, to be honest with you. I don't know about their history. I don't know what the differences between them and other companies like SeatGeek and StubHub are. But according to YouTube comments, Ticketmaster's been a pain in the butt since early 90s, if not earlier. And doing some just brief history on the company to refresh myself for this video, the company's actually been around since 1976. So we could definitely make a separate video covering the full history of Ticketmaster, but I think most of you are just interested in what the current events that are going on now. In their complaint, or in their press conference discussing their complaint, they allege that Ticketmaster is a monopoly because they have a certain percentage of market share of this live entertainment industry. Now, one of the questions I was wanting to debate more towards the end is that would this whole meltdown of the Taylor Swift concert ticket promotion, without that, would we be where we are right now with the Justice Department going after Ticketmaster? I don't think we'd be there right now, but I think it would have happened eventually through some other means. There would have been either some other meltdown or enough public pressure for the Justice Department to do this, because they allege that Ticketmaster and Live Nation, who merged in 2010, they allege that that company controls 80% of all ticketing for live events in the United States. 80%. They control 60% of promotions, and promotions includes a lot of different things, like the pre-sales, all the marketing that associates with the live event, the posters, the social media advertisements, stuff like that. Fan club memberships, those are just a couple things, and Ticketmaster does offer that for their exclusive artists who sign to their platform. They allege that they have over 400 artists signed to exclusive deals. I don't know what percentage that is of all the artists that have live events, but that's one of their selling points for their complaint. But they also allege that Live Nation and Ticketmaster, Live Nation originally was someone who managed venues. They allege that the company controls 60% of all the live amphitheaters in this country. Now, that doesn't mean that they own them, because one of the things they go after in their specific concerns is that they have these exclusive deals that say if you don't make a deal with us, if you go with somebody else, even if it's just for one concert, they will lose all business from Ticketmaster. That is part of what they call the flywheel, which we'll discuss more in a second. But that is a threat to these smaller venues. They need this flow of all these exclusive artists that Ticketmaster has signed to their platform. And so you see, as we go throughout this, you'll just see how Ticketmaster has created all these ways to stomp out competition and prevent competition from entering the marketplace. The Justice Department is alleging that those kind of behaviors and conduct of preventing competition has enable Ticketmaster to not actively innovate their company and their business model, which they don't call out the Taylor Swift thing specifically, but it's kind of like this lack of innovation is what led to the Ticketmaster meltdown in 2022. So in the summary of the complaint, they call this whole flywheel thing that I mentioned, it's this whole thing where Live Nation and Ticketmaster, as they call the joint company, self-reinforcing business model that captures fees and revenue from concert fans and sponsorship, uses that revenue to lock up artists to exclusive promotion deals, and then uses its powerful cache or collection of artists they've signed to their deals of live content to sign venues into long-term exclusive ticketing deals, thereby starting the cycle all over again. So you can see how this works. They get control of a venue, or they get control of an artist, they have them signed to their platform, They go to the next venue and say, hey, we have this deal with this artist. They're only signed to us. They can only ticket with us. They can only market with us. So if you want them, you have to go through us. And they have so many deals like that they can go to each venue and say, if you don't only serve us, if you don't go with these other people, you get all these artists, but you have to go with us. You can't have anybody else. And that's what allows Ticketmaster to charge these outrageous fees for tickets, and they get such a significant portion of revenue from these live events. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, there are a couple things in their concerns that I wasn't aware of. So let's go ahead and break out, like I said, the summary of these 7 specific concerns that they call out. Now, their first concern is actually with this company called Oakview Group, which I wasn't aware of. But they state in their summary of their complaint that Live Nation Ticketmaster exploits its longtime relationship with Oakview Group, a potential competitor turned partner that has described itself as a hammer and protector for Live Nation. In recent years, Oakview Group has avoided bidding against Live Nation for artist talent and influenced venues to sign exclusive agreements with Ticketmaster. For example, Live Nation has scolded Oakview Group multiple times for trying to compete. In one instance, Live Nation asked who would be so stupid to play into an artist agent's arms, and on another occasion, Live Nation stated that let's make sure we don't let the artist agency now start playing us off. Now, I'm not sure exactly what those situations are referring to, but Live Nation, they are the manager of all kinds of concert venues across the country, and now that they and Ticketmaster are the same company, well, I mean, of course, they're only going to use Ticketmaster for their events. I mean, the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas just opened, and they have about a 4,000-seat theater that does residences, and they are a Live Nation managed venue. So I imagine that the only way to get tickets for that venue at the Fontainebleau is to go through Ticketmaster, and they can charge whatever fee they want. If you want to go to that event, you have to go through Ticketmaster. And I'm sure that it's that way for dozens, if not hundreds of venues, maybe thousands potentially, across the country. Now, their second specific concern relates to retaliating against potential competition, and they state in their summary that Live Nation Ticketmaster successfully threatened financial retaliation against a firm unless it stopped one of its subsidiaries from competing to gain a foothold in the U.S. concert promotions market. Cut and dry right there. Next one, threatening and retaliating against venues that work with rivals. We've sort of talked about this already, but just to state what they say here, Live Nation Ticketmaster's power in concert promotions means that every live concert venue knows choosing another promoter or ticketer comes with a risk of drawing an adverse reaction from Live Nation Ticketmaster that would result in losing concerts, revenue, and fans. Already talked about that a little bit. Next one, locking out competition with exclusionary contracts. Live Nation Ticketmaster locks concert venues into long-term exclusive contracts so that venues cannot consider or choose rival ticketers or switch to better or more cost-effective ticketing technology. These contracts allow Live Nation Ticketmaster to reduce competitive pressure to improve its own ticketing technology and customer service. Already discussed that one a little bit as well. Number 5, blocking venues from using multiple ticketers. Live Nation Ticketmaster's conduct and exclusive contracts prevent new and different promotions and ticketing competitors and business models from emerging. They block venues from being able to use multiple ticketers who would compete by offering the best mix of prices, fees, quality, and innovation to fans. So we discussed that one as well. It kind of relates to stopping out or retaliating against competition, but that is the one that really hits home to the whole Taylor Swift nonsense that happened a year ago. Number 6, restricting artists' access to venues. So that's the other side of this, right? You have the side of the fans who have to pay the exorbitant fees, the unexplainable fees, the dumb fees. They have to pay so much for the ticket to begin with to get into the event. But then there's also the artist side, who, like I said, Ticketmaster provides services for, like marketing tools for their events, promotions, fan clubs, pre-sales, stuff like that. But to get that, you have to sign exclusively with Ticketmaster. And by doing that, there's certain events that you can't play. Now, does Ticketmaster have control of most of the events that an artist would likely play or be suitable for an artist to play? Probably. I don't know if an artist has ever had a bone to pick to say that, hey, Ticketmaster, this is stupid. Why can't I play this one venue? Depending on scale, right? I mean, if you're a small artist, you probably don't want to play in like some dump. I doubt Ticketmaster's in the business of venues that are that small. But I would think most artists typically don't complain. They're just like, where's the venue? Maybe they're concerned about like, I want to be able to play a bigger venue that doesn't work with Ticketmaster, but I that's probably a very niche case. I doubt that artists don't get venues that they don't like. But anyway, Live Nation Ticketmaster has increasingly gained control of key venues, including amphitheaters, through acquisitions, partnerships, and agreements. Live Nation Ticketmaster restricts artists' use of those venues unless those artists also agree to use their promotion services. So like I said, I kind of wonder how often that issue actually comes up. Last one. Acquiring competitors and competitive threats. This one is like where it's painfully obvious that Ticketmaster is a monopoly. When you acquire competitors who have a certain percentage of control over that market in that region, like, now you have that, like, that is, to me, blatant monopolization of your company. Live Nation Ticketmaster strategically acquired a number of smaller and regional promoters that it had internally identified as threats. This has undermined competition and impacted artist compensation. So the artist compensation part is interesting, right? Because it's like, ideally the larger a company is, the more efficient it is, so the better prices that they can offer, the more they can pay the people that work for them. So Ticketmaster being such a large company, I do kind of wonder, you have artists who work with these other kind of promoters and ticketers, like, is anybody paying better? Like, I imagine the Ticketmaster is probably paying the best of all their competitors. So the fact that it's undermined competition and impacted artist compensation, I kind of want to see what the specific angle on that is, because I doubt a smaller company, a regional company, would be able to pay a artist more than Ticketmaster, unless, because Ticketmaster is a monopoly, they've been able to command such a high percentage of each event for the artist. That's possible, but I can't confirm that. I don't know what any of these deals break down like. I'd have to ask someone who actually works with Ticketmaster, which I don't know anyone who does. So if you perhaps work with Ticketmaster, I would love to hear your experience. So where do we go from here? Well, this whole case is going to play out. The Justice Department has spent who knows how much time putting together this case. I don't know if this complaint is the actual case itself, or if the Justice Department has more research they want to do before taking on the case. I've not looked at anti-competitive cases in the past, but I imagine that this is going to be drawn out for at least a year, if not longer. Will it go to trial? Like I said, I don't know how these anti-competitive antitrust cases work, but I would imagine that it would be at least a year and a half before we really know anything for sure, and it could be longer, especially with the election. That could actually really impact this, because if we switch administrations and there's a new Department of Justice lead, a new Attorney General, this case may be thrown out by the new Attorney General, and this whole thing could go away. I kind of doubt that. Like the Justice Department stated, Ticketmaster controls 80% of this market, so I would think that they would continue this case even under a new Attorney General, depending on who it is. I don't know who any of the nominees would be on the Republican side, and I think it should. I like I said, I've not used Ticketmaster a whole bunch, but I feel like in the few times that I have gone to live events, it's been through Ticketmaster. Maybe once or twice on StubHub, once or twice for SeatGeek, but those seem to focus on sports, which is what I'm more interested in. I think in the couple live events that I've been to, the artist has been small enough to where I can just buy tickets at the door. So I've not had to work with a ticketing agency specifically. But in terms of like where you can like resell it, I think was the angle I focused on in the last video. You should be able to sell that ticket once you buy it from the person who was selling it originally, which could be Ticketmaster. I should then be able to sell that ticket on StubHub, SeatGeek, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, on the street, wherever. Ticketmaster should not control what I can or cannot do with said ticket. And it's like, I already bought the ticket, right? So like after that, what's the deal with them? I mean, they may make money on some of the fees that they charge to transfer the ticket, but besides them, why would they care if I was the person that showed up versus somebody else? But I do think this is a good thing. I know I said in the last video that you're better off increasing supply in the marketplace than increasing regulation, and I think this accomplishes that. I know it's the government doing it, which sucks, but the government is not creating rules here. They're not promoting, advocating for new laws or more regulation. They're using existing laws to create more supply or more competition in the marketplace. That's what they're doing. It's just that the government's doing it versus, companies coming up with innovative ways to get market share. So it really does kind of pain me to say that this is a good thing, but I do think the Ticketmaster is worth taking a serious look at. Now, I'm not sure how long this video is. Maybe we're running a little bit long here, but say we get to the end of this and Ticketmaster does actually have to break itself up. What does that look like? I don't know. I mean, the Senate was advocating for Live Nation and Ticketmaster, the merger that was approved 10 years ago or so, to be broken up, like to undo it. Maybe that could work, but Ticketmaster at that point still has these exclusive deals with venues. Live Nation just, connects the two. They're one company. So you don't even need the exclusive deal because it's already one company. So I'm not sure how many venues Live Nation specifically covers, if it would be worth breaking those two apart. But, I mean, maybe you just have Ticketmaster split into two, and you've got two ticketing companies. And you just draw a line down the middle of these contracts with venues and artists, and you just say Ticketmaster gets, half the artists, half the venues, and then Ticketmaster 2.0, which is an entirely separate company, gets the other half of the contracts and the exclusive deals. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look at a history of antitrust cases to see what would happen. But I'm going to leave it at that. If you're interested in me following this further as developments come out, please let me know in the comments. That's the only way I can gauge people's interest in this sort of stuff. But I'll hold off there. So I hope this was an interesting elaboration on this topic. Thank you for watching.